nice blend of seniority and youth in this team as well. And as I said, Ricardo Morris will wear the number 8. He will certainly be their impact player if there ever was one.
Yeah, that's Ricardo Morris. This is the Mount Pleasant huddle. The Vere boys took a quick photo opportunity and they're now taking their places on the pitch. Sanjay Anderson, the man who wears number 27 for Mount Pleasant, the match winner for them last time. They were down to 10 men when Kevin Isaacs was sent for an early bath, and he came off the bench, Sanjay Anderson, and he scored the winner late in that contest, very, very late, scored at the death for Mount Pleasant, and he's on the bench. For Mount Pleasant, Lamar Neal, one of their brighter attackers as the players take the peace knee, as I'm calling it. Lamar Neal was taken off injured in the previous game. Perhaps that's why Donovan Ducky isn't starting him today, but he's fit enough to take his place on the bench. Daniel Parchment signals the ball is rolling, even while some of the Mount Pleasant players are still on their knees. Cleon Price, one of them. Longven gets an early touch, shares it with his hard tackling, no nonsense captain Ricardo Campbell, who put in a very good shift in Vere's last game, Chris.
Excellent performance by Ricardo Morris, and Donovan Ducky is very nervous as we see the first call on the day.
Yeah, just a second, Chris. We'll get back to that. Within 20 seconds, Halloween Harvey puts himself into the book for a tackle on Javier Brown. And I can feel that pain from here, Chris. It was a full-blooded swing by Javier Brown into the studs, the raised studs of Alwyn Harvey. Yeah, look at this is what happened. So Javier Brown kicked Harvey's studs. Yes.
Exposing the studs. Certainly yellow card. That was a Vere United goal scorer in the last encounter. Their 1-0 victory. It was, and it was Brown from the spot. That's a dangerous tackle. That's exposing the studs. And well, Daniel Parchment not shy with the card at all.
No. Very early putting the stamp on proceedings. Pun intended, because there was almost a stamp that has caused Javier Brown pain. And you know why? What's particularly interesting about this? Let's see how he goes from here, because yesterday in Sunday's game, Atafaroy Bygrave, the joint leading scorer in the Premier League, Malign's Dunbeholden's point man, he went off injured very early. A tackle that Howell, the Waterhouse defender, didn't intentionally hurt him, but he was trying to tow a ball away, and Bygrave got injured and wasn't able to continue. As we take a shot of Wally Downs, we'll tell you more about him as the game goes on. Interesting character and a football man through and through, the 60-year-old Englishman. Devontae Campbell out wide, trying to play with Liston James, the second half substitute in Mount Pleasant's previous game, and he gets trusted with the start today, mainly because Kevin Isaacs is unavailable because of that red card he picked up in that 1-0 win last time out.
It was a crazy first half for Isaacs. 2 yellow cards in one half, unbelievable. And the first half as well.
You should have heard his captain, Liston Ladale Ritchie, defending him. I was having a chat with him, and he was saying, boy, the referee should have showed discretion. And I was saying, yes, Skipper, but Kevin really gave the referee a decision to make.
I thought you were very nice to him.
The laws of the game. The laws of the. I was trying to impress upon him, Chris, that the laws of the game, the ref is obliged to uphold the laws of the game or to enforce the laws. And
he made it very difficult for the referee to show leniency.
That's the point,
based on his challenges.
Ooh, lovely burst by Devontae Campbell. This is Morris. He's in business. Ricardo Campbell, though, puts the body in front of his namesake and turns it outside for a throw so his team can regroup.
Yeah. Campbell actually had time, and I think there was just a lack of communication. I think that's what Campbell is saying. Nobody was talking to him to say, look, nobody's on you. You actually have time. You could play the pass. Well,
Morris's cross met by the head of Campbell. This is Sule Makala under pressure from Javier Brown. Javier Brown wins the clash of the 14s. Early ball out to Swaby. He needs some help though.
Early in the piece, you know that Swaby is going to turn more or less like a truck. So it takes a long time for him to warm up. Francois Swaby.
Lovely turn by Kevin Graham, a 360. And Kevin Graham was the butt of many jokes on social media the last game. We were telling the fans that he was 38, as per one of the sites that we trusted sites we get information from. And Kevin was saying, my Dan, I'm only 28, Well, actually 26, to be fair to him, 26 years old. He was saying that one of his lifelong friends were saying to him, Kevin, we've been friends for so long. I didn't know you were so old. I did have a conversation with him and we exchanged a couple of messages on social media as well. He's a good man though, top man Kevin Graham. And he saw the funny side.
We advanced him quite a bit.
Yes, sir. 28 years old, Kevin Graham. All right, we got that right. Meanwhile, there's a small matter of a corner for Vere United to deal with, meaning they are the ones with the corner. Let's see what they can produce. So it'll be being picked up by Sule Makala, a player who knows him very well, as Ricardo Messam puts this in to the middle of the goal, and the unchallenged header by Kevin Graham. We were just talking him up, and an unchallenged header in a sector of the field where he's not the most potent. Can we say that to be kind to him?
That would be very accurate. Would have been difficult from that distance though, going away, having to lean away and redirect the header, and just wouldn't have been able to generate the power to beat Paul.
Funny you say that though, Chris, because I'm sure if Francois Swaby had that opportunity, you wouldn't be saying that.
Maybe, but it would still have been difficult because he had to lean away from goal. But
well, Swaby has
so much power
and superior expertise, and from that distance. Ladale Ritchie turns away, and the foul brought down by the man Tyrese Harris, only 19 years old. The young man trusted by Donovan Ducky to give the team some oomph this afternoon, the young man.
Yeah, came on as a substitute last week, as you mentioned, and his energy was really good.
Yes.
Donovan Ducky, all throughout his appearance last week, was on his case from the sidelines. Do this, do that, get here now.
Ducky, that's him.
Well, obviously he followed instructions because he's gotten a start in place now. So
Swaby's arm, the elbow, he really wasn't trying to block that, but it hit his elbow. And it's a free kick. So it's early, no discernible pattern just yet. And Jay Gale met that well. Lumpton met that header, and then Harrison seems to have taken a kick to the midriff. This is Cleon Price, the ex-Harbourview and Portmore United man, and Cavalier as well. So he's been around a couple of the teams, a few of the teams in Casafa. This is Devonte Campbell. Makala to Sigri. Checks in on the right foot, but with a left-footed pass instead, and the shot from Alwyn Harvey, getting impatient with the faffing about by his teammates, goes high and harmless in the end.
Yes, Donovan Sigri's right foot is really just for balance, so he was always going to use the left to execute the pass, and that was a shot which was comfortably over the goal of Davis. Again, very impressive to see Vere United. They get very narrow in defence. Lots of players back, very busy. That's why they're so hard to score against. Not to mention their leader in Campbell at the back, who certainly orchestrates things quite well. Their problem is at the other end of the park, where they've only scored twice this season.
Correct you are. They were played forward to Chauvin Paul, a Premier League winner with Portmore United. Big kick downfield, trying to hit the youngster Devonte Campbell. Oh, a mix-up, and Cleon Price latches onto it from Mount Pleasant. Now with Campbell, back to Price. Now Morris under challenge. Back to Price. Mount Pleasant congregating on the right. This is Ricardo Morris. Out to Campbell for the cross, and it's blocked by the skipper Ricardo Campbell. So Devonte Campbell, his cross blocked by Ricardo Campbell. Devonte now, and Javier Brown comes back to make his life difficult. This is Kevin Graham now.
If you notice, he's playing in a more central role today, Graham. Lewis has been asked to play more of the left back role.
Correct you are.
And we spoke about that last week, his versatility as well.
Over the top, looking for Cleon Price, but Kadeem Davis claims. Quick release by Kadeem Davis, maybe too quick. Comfortable for Ladale Ritchie. Shares it with his centre half partner, who goes long, Kevin Lane. Here's Wally Downs. Interestingly about Wally Downs, who played over 200 games in his career for AFC Wimbledon, his uncle Chris Taylor, Terry Downs, is a former British middleweight boxing champion. 1961 to 62, held the title for 10 months. So
interesting.
Wally has fighting in his blood.
Yeah. He didn't follow suit though.
No, he didn't.
He did more fighting on the field.
Harrison can't get around Sigri, and the assistant referee he fouled his Mount Pleasant opponent.
He was a very tough player in his time.
Oh yes, hard as nails.
Yes.
I remember very well a skirmish that he had with Neil Warnock on the touchline as Reading chased promotion to the English Premier League. In fact, when Reading won promotion, I think it was 2005-2006, Downs was their defensive coach, and Reading had a championship record 106 points that season. And he was very, very highly regarded for his role in Reading's awesome return to the English Premier League, the Englishman, who's now trying to win this championship with Mount Pleasant. I think they almost came to blows, and Downs was cited for affray, which under British law, affray means fighting in public. So that was how serious it was. Warnock may not have read his file to know that you don't mess with Wally Downs like that.
Yeah, he was always known for his aggressive nature. In fact, it put him in problems quite a few times, but as I said, lots of appearances and a wealth of experience. 60 years of age now, but still has that fire, you can tell when you speak to him, and that determination. He's enjoying life in Jamaica, though, must be said.
As he should, and he's done well with Mount Pleasant to date. So Kadeem Davis with the headband that referee Daniel Parchment was ticking him off about, wanting to do for the headband in football what Allen Iverson did for the headband in the NBA. Davis's kick goes long. Sule Makala, nice touch. Ricardo Morris has Daniel Green to his left, but doesn't use him yet. This is Devontae Campbell. Can't get around the man over there on that far side, Alton Lewis. Good battle so far between Lewis and Campbell. Campbell now has a chance to cross. Blocked by Anjay Gale. Comes back to him though. Lewis, the bigger body, and he falls under the challenge. Campbell deemed to have fouled him.
Lewis will have his work cut out coming into the starting lineup. He will be busy, and that obviously is a wing that Mount Pleasant favours in terms of attack. You can see Morris leaning more towards that side.
Yeah. On the point of Morris, as you know so very well, having done so much schoolboy football over the years, Chris, there's a particular joy to see when an outstanding schoolboy footballer transmits that quality to the senior levels, and Ricardo Morris is one. Fantastic at St. James in tandem with Alan Otti the year they won the Costa Cup, and good to see him
2008
remain a quality player at this top level.
29 years of age now. Had a short stint in 2014 at Tampa Bay in the US, but majority of his football apart from that, or all of his football apart from that, has been here in Jamaica.
Parchment has the card out again, and who gets it now? Looks as if it's Liston James who may have been booked. Yeah, so the second Mount Pleasant man going into the book, and we haven't even played 15 minutes yet, let alone 12. So this free kick that Alton Lewis has an interest in for Mount Pleasant, for Vere United rather. Swaby lurking widest of all. He'll be looking to make that late run in the box, into the box. Oh, poor though, because it can't beat the first man. That was really an awful free kick from Alton Lewis. I don't think his keeper will allow him to take another one, because usually Ricardo Campbell bosses those free kicks. Harrison under pressure from Sigri goes down, wanting to get a free kick, but he gives away a throw. Cleon Price can't get around Lumvin, who concedes the throw. I remember a drab Monday night football game, one of the few that we've done, as we see Liston James. This is why he got the yellow. Ooh, look at the foot. Yeah.
Some serious martial arts there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling you about Cleon Price as we see Javier Brown latching onto this loose ball over the top. And that was too long for Francois Swaby. It's not dead yet though. Harrison has it. The cross comes in by Harrison, and the goalkeeper drops it. Alwyn Harvey clears the lines for Mount Pleasant, not too far. Anjay Gale back. Sule Makala now. Out to Daniel Green. He still can't get his first touch. We're in the 14th minute. Daniel Green still hasn't touched the ball for Mount Pleasant.
Oh, that was a poor pass there.
Sigri forward to Morris. Needs some support, he does. Oh, curls it into the box, into space, and Kadeem Davis plucks it out of the air easily. Cleon Price acknowledging the effort. And I was telling you about Price lighting up a drab Monday night game between Cavalier and Harbourview. When he was with Cavalier, he scored from about 30 yards. A wicked strike from distance. So it's 1-0. in a largely forgettable game, but I won't forget that strike anytime soon. So he has that quality clear on press as he goes down now, holding the right foot.
Yeah. Mount Pleasant number 10. In fact, that game needed that goal.
Oh, you remember that game? Lance nearly fell asleep.
They really needed that moment of brilliance. Big duel going on with himself and Kevin Graham, as I said, playing more in the centre-back role today instead of the wing-back role.
Yeah.
Vere number 18.
Segree's cross, finds Price's head, it bounces once, and Kadeem Davis, agile like off his line. And
Price is very good in the air as well, so he adds that option for Mount Pleasant.
Goalkeeper to goalkeeper. Davis's long punt. A couple of times he's tried to bypass everything and just go direct route one to Swaby. Hasn't found his striker just yet.
And that's where Vere struggled. The midfield unit just not able to combine well enough to get the ball forward, so they have had to resort to long passes. Swaby is not the quickest, so it has to be a really good pass, and he will still have a lot of work to do.
Yes, indeed. Ricardo Morris working midfield now. Daniel Green has gone central. Now Liston James decides to cross, and it's allowed to bounce by the Vere boys, who recognize that there isn't much danger. The point you made about the midfield is real for Vere United. In the last 10 Premier League games they've played since August 9 last year, they've won 2 of those 10, drawn 4, lost 4. But guess what? In those 10, they've scored 3 goals. 3 goals in 10 games. They've conceded 8, and 4 of those came in one game, a playoff game against Tivoli. So they've been very stingy in defence.
4 goals in 9 games then.
But they can't. But there you go. But they can't score to save their lives.
Yeah,
only 3 goals in 10 games. Remarkable.
It's been a real struggle. And then Neil being out would have helped magnificently in terms of their midfield play and moving forward. In fact, one of the 2 goal scorers, in fact the only goal scorer in open play for Vere this season, he is not playing. So there is a bit of a gap in the middle, and I think Mount Pleasant making full use of it at the moment.
Key interception by Lewis. Long ball for Brown to chase. Harvey rather goes to close him down. Still Brown. Alwyn Harvey battling against him. Brown does well. Graham finds himself in an advanced position. This is Lewis now. Lewis tiptoeing and goes for a shot that is gathered competently enough by Shavin Paul.
I was a bit surprised that Paul was scampering, because this looked like it was going wide. Was swerving wide in the end. Ran the risk of spooning it, and then
right at Swaby's feet.
Yeah, right at Swaby's feet. But luckily for him, his hands were good.
But it's almost as if the defenders didn't rate Alton Lewis, Chris, because you saw how they backed off and invited him to shoot.
Correct. He was a far way out though.
Yeah. Liston James pops this over the top. Ricardo Campbell beats Ricardo Morris to the header. It's a Mount Pleasant throw.
So this has been a fixture that Mount Pleasant have enjoyed over the years. 2 victories against them in the last 3 years. In fact, the only victories have come from Mount Pleasant. 2-0 in 2020, 2-1 in 2019. In fact, last year's result, a 0-0 draw, was the best Vere have done against them.
Yeah, well, historically, those are the only 3 times they've met in the top flight. So Mount Pleasant dominate the rivalry. Ricardo Morris snapping the head into that one, but mistimed his jump badly. And Kadeem Davis upset with his defenders that Price got what he deemed to be a free header.
So this match so far will be going according to the script, with Mount Pleasant showing certainly a lot more impetus going forward, and look certainly the more likely to score. Lots of possession, quite a few balls into the box as well. Wouldn't say any out-and-out chances though.
Swaby's flick being hunted down by Harrison. Under pressure is Kevin Lane, and Shavin Paul bails him out with an assertive from the goalkeeper now. Daniel James gets the early pass.
He finally gets a touch.
Yeah, he did. Swaby tracks back well to help his midfielders. Brown, Javier Brown, asking a lot of Swaby, and my word, Swaby frustrated with him, flinging his hands in the air in frustration. That was actually Ricardo Messam's long pass, Swaby couldn't stop it from, well, it was a handball is the call. Western James has a lot of time to gather this one. Again, Chris, there are several players in this game who've played the complexion trick on me. This ball into the box. Cleon Price takes it on the chest, turns. Ricardo Campbell there though, with his body as an obstacle, and the Price couldn't get the swing and the free shot at goal that he wanted. McCalla in ahead of Graham, and he wins the free kick. Sule McCalla.
Graham certainly wasn't going to let him pass. Cynical foul, Graham.
Graham really,
38, 26-year-old.
Kevin Graham really dominated that contest against Pringle from Malines the last time.
For sure.
He played, really dominated that rivalry. Some sturdy men up front for Mount Pleasant. You may find that a little bit more tough. Header, that was Kevin Lane who had come up from his central defensive position and just snapped the neck into it. Didn't miss by much.
No, good attempt. Good effort by Lane. The paw was already on the delivery, so he just needed to redirect it, and maybe got a little bit too much head on it in the end, so it took it over the bar. But yeah, that was a good attempt. Davis was in a good position. Probably would have been able to execute the save had it been on target. Again, not impressed by any of the two midfields in this game. Yes, Mount Pleasant have been getting a lot of balls in the box, but they use a lot of the wide areas. The midfield is absent for the most part in the entire game. And there's a lack of creativity in Vere United. That is why they have struggled. So everything has been a long pass. The ability to thread the needle just hasn't been there.
Segreto, Green. Morris trying to play the 1-2 with Green, but his pass was ill-directed. Meat and drink for Kadeem Davis.
I somewhat wonder if Morris should maybe drop just a touch deeper, just to get a little bit more involved in the play. Maybe to add a little bit more of that creativity. Not very deep, but just a little bit more. Right now, it's almost as if they're playing with a flat 3 up front. And with his ability, maybe they would actually show a lot more purpose going forward.
Yeah. Graham to Messam. Messam loses out, but Alton Lewis takes possession. Goes long to Swaby. Swaby takes it on the chest and barged over by Ladale Ritchie. Daniel Parchment walking the spot. And in the 22nd minute, Lewis has charge of this free kick once again. Lewis's free kick goes to the back for Swaby, and it misses him. A very low percentage attempt there by Vere United. Swaby still acknowledging the effort.
Sometimes you wonder, with playing the lone man up front, Francois Swaby, very good in the air, very powerful, a very good header of the ball in terms of strength. Why not just play a lofted pass, not with any pace, because he can generate the pace? Why not just dink it into the air and allow Swaby to attack the ball, because he's going to be stronger than most players you'll be jumping against. And especially because he's playing as a lone man. So far they've been trying to drive the ball into the box, and it just hasn't suited Swaby because he's not quick, he's not very agile, and he hasn't gotten an end of any of them.
Solid point. Meanwhile, Mount Pleasant down to 10. Ricardo Morris, well, he's back on the field now. Just ran off to get some a thigh massage. Here's Campbell. He's switched flanks. Devontae Campbell now operating on this left side. 2 Vere men to beat. He checks in on the right foot. Goes for the cross. Headed away by Alton Lewis. It's been very busy so far this game. Liston James now with another cross. Kadeem Davis goes up, beaten to the header, and deemed to have been fouled by Cleon Price. Daniel Parchment making that call.
It'll be interesting to see that replay. I didn't think Price did much wrong, actually. I just think he went to challenge for the ball, but let's see if he used his arms to get in the way of Davis. Goes up here. I think he really does challenge. His eyes were always on the ball, Price. It's not as if he looked towards Davis. And maybe that left arm is the reason why Daniel Parchment bailed out Davis. Lucky, I think. I think it was a genuine challenge for the ball by Price.
Agreed. Meanwhile, another long ball missed Swaby.
Yeah.
Shavin Paul. His kick lands at half line, halfway. And Jay Gale to the middle for Vere. Closed down well by Harvey, and Sule McCullough driving forward now. Has Devontae Campbell, freeze him down this left hand side. What can the youngster do against Salmon? Back to McCullough. Harvey was gazing for a minute and it runs loose. Kevin Graham hoping to hit Swaby with the long ball, but again asking Swaby to put on jet-heeled boots.
I think Swaby realized he was offside, so he said it didn't make sense for him to run after it. Yeah, and that's what he's saying to his teammates. Look, it didn't make sense for me. I realized I was offside, so why waste my energy as another player is down?
Yeah, looks to be.
Davis has gone down now as well in the goal.
Yeah, Morris has gone back to the sidelines for more treatment. This is worrying for Mount Pleasant.
Well, we spoke about the surface and how that has contributed to a lot of injuries. I mean, it's been really an increased number of injuries, especially last season, and now this season it has just continued in the same vein, especially with the goalkeepers. I know there's a quotation over injuries, but yeah, a lot of players we see just generally going down, muscle issues, ankle issues.
Yeah, so Down's complaining to the fourth official that the Vere goalkeeper is just really wasting time. Meanwhile, Ricardo Morris has a bit of strapping on the thigh just applied, and they aren't even done. Well, yeah, he's fixing the shorts now, but he had it massaged first, like a minute ago, then had it massaged again, then had it strapped, and now he's stretching. Maybe a inner thigh, perhaps even a groin issue, but yeah, it's a thigh problem, and he has heavy strapping on both thighs.
And what he's saying to them is he can feel it grabbing. So yeah, that will be a major concern. Usually the muscle injuries in those areas, you don't make it through the game, George. And there's a lot of time left. You can see him, he's not moving freely at all. He's actually been forced to come a lot deeper.
Sigri now. Mount Pleasant tried to force the issue. Campbell back to Sigri.
They're probably going to have to make a forced change.
Campbell over the top, looking for Morris, but he can't even jump. Yeah, he can't continue. He signals. He makes the universal signal for change, and he's done. And this was coming for a few minutes now, viewers.
It's groin. As you said, inner thigh towards the groin, and yeah, I know those injuries quite well. That's it. Not with 60 odd minutes left.
Yeah.
And he won't. I mean, apart from the walking or the movement, there'll just be no power that he'll be able to generate. So it just makes no sense, and yeah, very unfortunate.
So Mount Pleasant down to 10 for the minute. The stricken Ricardo Morris behind the Vere United goal, being attended to by the Mount Pleasant medics. And Wally Downs furiously.
It's a big loss for them.
Going through the motions. As this ball rolls into touch, they have a substitute ready. Whereas number 19 looks to be Tyrese Gowie, who's going to come in.
And let me tell you, Shavin Sean Paul has pulled up as well, running to the touchline to retrieve the ball, and you could just see him starting to limp as well. I tell you, George, this surface, they might not like to hear it, but it's causing a lot of injuries. A lot of thigh and hamstring injuries, because the studs are causing the feet and the legs and so on to get stuck in the turf, especially through the movement. Ankle injuries in terms of not free mobility. Yeah. Such it is. Wouldn't be surprised if,
so
if
the changes lined up now, Chris. So yeah. Morris is back on his feet, walking on his own steam around to the bench. Meanwhile, the youngster Tyrese Gowie is going to replace him. That's Ricardo Morris. Lasted only about 26 minutes of this contest, and he leaves the scene.
our player to watch for Mount Pleasant. Very unfortunate for him. National representative. 17 times he's worn the shirt for the Reggae Boys. 2 goals in that time. Very unfortunate for the 29-year-old.
Yeah. Donovan Duque ripping into his players as well, telling them that the only thing he's been hearing from the bench is sorry for the misplaced passes, and he doesn't want to hear any more sorries. So Duque is dissatisfied. I'm sure Wally Downs is also dissatisfied with what he's seen, and his problems compounded by the fact that his star man, his difference maker, Ricardo Morris, pulling up lame and will take no further part. So a very disjointed start to this game. Liston James goes long looking for Cleon Price, beaten in the air by Ricardo Campbell. 57% possession by Mount Pleasant. Harvey into the path of James. James's cross, a stabbed effort, not really a cross, almost like a cross-come shot, and nothing came of it in the end. It's a goal kick to Vere.
Nice build-up play, excellent pass, but then just a finished product missing, which we've seen so much in this game thus far.
Chavin Paul could have taken another ball closer, but he ran the long way. So fitting into the narrative of Wally Downs that he's perhaps wasting time already.
Yeah, Davis.
Gamesmanship.
Kadeem Davis had to get a talking to at the start of the game from Danian Parchment in terms of his attire, and had a lot to say, and well, there's a lot being said about him.
Disagree. Makala. Under pressure from Gale. Gale can't win it though, and the referee thought his attempts to get the ball were overly aggressive. Daniel Green on the right now, he has some room. Clips it over the top, the cross again, and it's awful. The crossing in this game has been woeful from both teams. Mount Pleasant have created several crossing opportunities, but none of those crosses have found the mark.
No. Can remember really just one delivery into the box. It was from a dead ball opportunity, and it was Lane on that occasion who actually put in a good header. But apart from that, as you said, very inaccurate. Vere actually haven't done bad with their crosses in terms of accuracy, but I think the what should I say, the plan of action is what is wrong. I think the mode of delivery, I much believe in less pace and just thinking it high and allowing Francois Swaby to make the most of it. He has the power. Allow him to attack the ball. Let's see if they will put in those changes if they get the opportunity.
Campbell, nice take. Devontae Campbell works midfield, goes back to Sigree. Sigree goes on a little run, a little burst of pace to take him clear. Forward to the youngster Tyrese Gowie. Too long for him though, and even so he was being well policed by Ricardo Campbell.
Donovan Sigree, Manning Cup winner with Jamaica College under Miguel Coley.
To the 33rd minute of a contest that is yet to catch fire. And the cool conditions here at the UWI JFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence. And Jay Gale under pressure from Price and runs into Campbell. Lumden to his rescue, but Lumden is robbed by Gowie. Gowie just got a little toe on it. Harvey now. Liston James. Daniel Green. Mount Pleasant come forward. Sule Makala. Sigree calls for it. Too long for him, but it runs to Campbell. Now Sigree. Cleon Price is the target. Offside, says the assistant referee.
Lack of patience from Sigree on that occasion. Price was well marked. No need for him to force that ball into the box. Had Campbell with him, he could have taken a couple more passes, worked their way closer in, allow Price to run a channel. But even if he wasn't offside, Price was never going to score from that deep. Especially with a floating ball like that. That's the kind of floating ball we want to see at the other end, George.
Absolutely right. Here is Javier Brown. Wide to Harrison. Harrison pushed over by Sigri, and the assistant referee says free kick. Says foul rather, and the referee says free kick.
Well, here is a chance for Vere United to float it into the box as we had suggested. Let's see what happens. Lots of bodies forward. You would have to say, apart from Francois Swaby, they're certainly not the taller players in the box.
Yeah, well,
unless Lumsden comes forward.
On cue, he goes forward now, Chris. Well, he's turned back.
Amazing.
Duki turns him back, his coach. So he's furthest back. Meanwhile, his captain will take charge of this free kick. A two-man wall. There are 5 white shirts in the box, including Francois Swaby. Campbell over the top into the box, and a meat and drink for goalkeeper Shavin Paul.
Again, a bit inaccurate, too close to the keeper. Trajectory wasn't bad, but not picking out his players very well.
Lovely first touch by Cleon Price, but Alton Lewis with a sliding block.
It's crazy to me that you would have a dead ball opportunity to loft the ball into the box, and your tallest player is told not to go, and there was no Mount Pleasant players forward to really offer any form of challenge. So why would you not put him in the box? I don't understand that. That would be a question for Donovan Duque for me.
Sigri to Green. Green runs midfield. Nice pass to Gowie. Gowie turns, but Kevin Graham shut him down very quickly. Muscular Graham easing off the youngster. Wants to go long. Very good from Tyrese Gowie. Also good from Kevin Graham as well, taking his team out of a dangerous position. Salmon with this throw for Vere. Alwyn Harvey meets it. It's another throw to Vere. Lane blasts it off Messam. McCullough out to Campbell. Campbell long. Cleon Price can chase this. Ricardo Campbell over there though. Quickly read the play early. Didn't have much ground to close, and the little ground he had to close down, he did it quickly and concedes a throw.
Yeah. Ricardo Campbell not happy with the coverage, but also not happy at how easy Vere United turned over the ball. Nobody reading the play of Francois Swaby. The big man pulled wide, did well to collect the ball, and then a play in, and everybody was chasing after that. Nobody read the play. The cohesion just not there from his younger teammates.
McCullough under pressure. Turns to James. Campbell back to James. James has some time now to make this cross count. It's at the back post for Daniel Green, and not sure what he was trying there. Cleon Price. Still Price. McCullough on the right foot, low! And whistles by Kadeem Davis's right hand post, and the goalkeeper is upset for Vere United. Wanted better coverage than that from his defenders.
Good attempt on the for the 18 by McCullough. Pace behind it, but just wide. This was a patient build-up. I like this from Mount Pleasant. Just taking their time. McCullough, one of the most experienced players in the group, just orchestrating things, asking Price to find him, then the shot. Not bad in terms of build-up. Good to see them utilizing the midfield as well, then pulling wide to get the Vere players out of position.
Price on the hunt. He gets there ahead of Lumsden. Big cross, big change of play, direction, point of attack to Campbell. Liston James gives him the overlapping run, but he doesn't want that pass. Back to Harvey. Back to Campbell. Pleasant trying to settle into a rhythm here. James, nice pass to Sigri. Sigri has some time on the left foot. The first touch wasn't the best. Harrison got a piece of it, but still Sigri. Around the corner to Daniel Green. Green on the right foot. And trying to find Cleon Price. It took a deflection off Alton Lewis. And it's a corner kick.
Good build up again, Mount Pleasant. Good build up again. Donovan Sigri, who has an excellent left foot. That was really a poor touch. I said it wasn't bad. It was poor. Had all the time in the world, and had he taken that well, he would have had a shot. an open shot, but that heavy touch just took it away. And again, Mount Pleasant coming into the game nicely. I like their patience in terms of their build-up play. They look more threatening when they do that.
Sigree, short corner to Gowie. Sigree puts the ball in, and Sule McCullough didn't know much about it when he really ought to have known that it was coming in his direction. It's a corner, referee Daniel Parchment says, so maybe the deflection took it away from him as he's grinning. Well, Cleon Price was grinning at any rate, but this is the cross by Sigree. As you see live action, the ball being closed down
behind McCullough.
Yep.
Not sure who touched it though.
Kevin Lane pops it in, cleared by Ricardo Campbell. Vere under some pressure. Good touch by Francois Swaby. Oh, into space now for Harrison. Ladale Ritchie goes across, and the skipper executes the slide. Brilliant from the Mount Pleasant captain.
A little too
Daniel
far
Green.
Swaby.
Trevon Salmon does well, and does even better. Harrison looks to be hurt from that clash with big Ladale Ritchie, and the young man seems to be a hip problem. So this is the Ladale Ritchie going across, and the impact of the fall seems to be what is causing Tyrese Harrison, beg your pardon, some trouble.
Yeah, good challenge by Ritchie. Just the awkward fall. Yeah, there, the twist of the body. And that was really excellent challenge though by the skipper. There he is, played well so far.
Meanwhile,
No, go ahead.
Devontae Campbell just got some notes from Wally Downs over on the far side, the only one to be taking tactical instructions during this break, as young Harrison gets treatment. So we've seen Green and Campbell switch flanks a couple of times so far in this half, trying to find some joy. And Wally Downs taking copious notes. Played as a midfielder, Wally Downs, in those games for AFC Wimbledon, where he made his name. And alongside this coaching job we told you about, and the Reading coaching job, was a manager of Brentford, who are now in the Premier League. Assistant manager at Reading, assistant manager at Crystal Palace. Has been around, Wally Downs. Knows a thing or 300 about football. Liston James dodges one tackle. Alton Lewis forward, trying to get Messam going. Messam in some space now, but he looks across. He doesn't have the help just yet. Messam delaying into the box, looking for Swaby, and that was a very poor attempt at a cross. Chris, may I ask you how well Alton Lewis has done in that left back slot for Vere United so far?
I think he's come on as the game has gone on in terms of defensively. In the early part, he looked like he was going to have been exposed, and I think Campbell was having quite a bit of joy. So was Morris, but with Morris's substitution, it has made his life easier on that flank. And his delivery is still not good at all in terms of an attacking sense, but I think defensively he's been more solid, and they have actually looked to switch their attack quite a bit to the left hand side, Mount Pleasant, just because of his solidity. But yeah, I think Morris coming off has helped his day.
Shavin Paul spearing this one downfield. Forced to Cleon Price though. It overshot Devontae Campbell. Price, he beats Campbell. Still Price. Trying to weave
Lewis
around three defenders. This is Devontae Campbell now has picked up the dribble. Lewis goes out to meet him and turns him back. James back to Campbell. Lewis out. Lewis wins that particular battle, and no foul, says the referee, to the frustration of young Devontae Campbell, who's looking at the assistant referee asking him for help. Lewis won that duel and got a fist bump from his captain Ricardo Campbell as well.
Parchment looked like he was interested for a moment, but looked to the assistant and there was no flag, and it was in his quarter, if you want to say. So I think he just left it alone, and probably that's what they're talking about on their mics.
Campbell. Lewis, his shadow with him once again. Oh, can't get around Lewis. Oh, very strong Alton Lewis. And shoved over by Sule McCullough. It fell theatrically, Alton Lewis.
Good acting.
Yeah, looks like a brawler, Alton Lewis. Meanwhile, Devontae Campbell seems to have taken a blow to the ear.
Right away, Parchment just said to Lewis, don't bother with it, get out.
So this is what happened.
Here it is.
Look at what Sule McCullough does, and look at the fall by Alton Lewis, falling and rolling over.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
it was a good tussle. Did extend his arm, Lewis. There you see it there. Did extend the right arm, which was unnecessary. And then the theatrical, oh well. I don't think he could have won an award for acting quality there.
Meanwhile, the fourth official is set to show 3 minutes at the end of this first 45 minutes as time added on. Meanwhile, Gowie, nice pass to Liston James. Messam runs back to cover for Vere. Campbell, burst of speed taking him beyond Lewis. Very well done by Devontae Campbell to Sule McCullough. Segui calling him. This is Sule McCullough with the shot. It's a daisy cutter into the grateful arms of Kadeem Davis.
Nice build up again. It looks as if Campbell heard what we were saying about his battle with Lewis, and he's increased the intensity. He certainly does have the first step on Lewis. He's quicker than Lewis, and he has quick feet as well. And McCullough has the experience but not the pace behind the shot.
Both coaches angry at aspects of what their players are doing. You should have heard Donovan Ducky giving his boys a rollicking just now. Meanwhile, Tyrese Harrison, can he cross it?
He can.
Like Cliff Twang, he cannot cross it, eh? I haven't seen him in ages, Chris. We need to go and look for him.
Me neither. I haven't heard him either.
That's the young Tyrese Harrison, 19 years old. Our producer says he's on tour. Leave it alone, Chris.
Oh,
Leave
okay.
it alone, Chris. Because you'll tempt me to get us into trouble, alright? I'll wait halfway back to Ladale Ritchie. Across to Kevin Lane, all the way across to Liston James. McCullough tells him to go back, but James goes long, looking to hit Keelan Price. Ricardo Campbell wins that easily. Kevin Graham to Anjay Gale. Swaby comes short to get a piece of it. Spears it across the field and asks Alton Lewis to sprint. He gets there. Brown closed down. Ball still with Ricardo Messam into touch, and it's a Vere throw.
Nobody's showing for the ball. Vere of the throw. Nobody in the forward third.
Swaby! That was a good cross from Alton Lewis. The first time he's found his man this afternoon. And old man Francois Swaby just went down in installments as he tried to contort his body into the position to get his head onto that. And he acknowledges the effort. It was a top cross, he's saying. But the veteran, the marksman, should have done better, you believe, Chris?
Very good delivery. I think he just misjudged the flight, Swaby. He was a little slow in moving off. The first step wasn't that great. We've spoken about the diesel tendencies of Swaby, and that was another example. But yeah, again though, pace on that cross, and as we said, the agility is not the strength of Swaby, so you need to give him time. Let him see the ball in the air, float it in, and allow him to generate his own power. And again, that is it. Had it been a quicker centre forward, he would have been in. He probably would have even controlled that ball or just redirected it, but not Swaby.
Amid all that though, I want you to give credit to Alton Lewis for the quality of cross.
Yeah. but the pass has to be determined on who you're passing it to.
Correct.
So,
but look,
that's the only
Chris,
thing. But yes, that's been better than what he has done.
He found the striker, okay? Good.
That's been better than what he's produced thus far.
This ball runs loose. Javier Brown now. And he was trying to find Tyrese Harrison. And the deflection, it went outside. Well, Damien Parchment has seen enough. It's half-time in this contest. No goals between Vere United and Mount Pleasant. Injury to the Mount Pleasant totem. Ricardo Morris saw him leave the field in the 27th minute thereabouts with a thigh injury, perhaps even a groin issue. And yeah, it was choppy for much of the first half, but then it settled down in the last 10 minutes or so, but still goalless. And the deadlock hopefully will be broken in the second half. Back with more after these. we are at the UWI JFF Captain Horace Morrell Centre of Excellence. No goals between Vere United and Mount Pleasant after the first 45 minutes of this match week 3 clash in the Jamaica Premier League. The referee, Daniel Parchment. And from the corner kick, Kevin Graham there with the header. Alton Lewis had an early sighter, easily gathered by Shavin Paul. Liston James put this one in and it was met by the head of Ricardo Morris. He wasn't to stay with us for too long. Daniel Green's effort on target, but well, Kevin Lane headed it goalwards, but harmless in the end. Then Green, that was a miscued effort. It will work its way to Donovan Sigree. Cleon Price will shift it back across the 18-yard box to Sule Makala. Had some power, but the direction was off. And then the short corner, Gowie to Sigree. Sigree's cross missed both Cleon Price and Sule Makala. And it was a case of a half of what ifs for both teams. 7 shots, only 2 on target, 1 for either side. 12 fouls, 8 committed by Mount Pleasant. 2 yellow cards. Liston James and Alwyn Harvey into the book for the Mount Pleasant team. And Mount Pleasant controlled 57% of the possession in the first 45 minutes. So the position of the game is that it's 0-0 between the teams. All right, well, what happened on Sunday? In case you missed it, and we're not talking Mariah Ramarak's show, we're talking about Sunday, match week 3 of the JPL, to open it, Waterhouse against Dunbeholden, and then Portmore United and Cavalier.
With 4 goals this afternoon. Waterhouse were impressive from early. Leslie taking the quick, neat pass from Andre Fletcher. Just working his way into a goal scoring position. Sliding it past Damien Hart in the Dunbeholden goal. That was 1-0 after 22 minutes. Leslie celebrating his first goal in 3 seasons. Dunbeholden tried to respond. Bailey with a left-footed strike. Kimar Foster in goal, solid for Waterhouse. Bad pass by Shakeen Dar, the captain of the Dunbeholden team. Leslie pouncing ferociously on it and smacking a powerful right-footed shot past Damien Hart. There he is. Yeah, Hart wasn't going to get there. Second goal of the afternoon for Andre Leslie, the 24-year-old. Dunbeholden had their moments, and that ball snuck in off a deflection. Smith credited with the goal, giving Dunbeholden a bit of a lifeline here. But Waterhouse would respond. Benbow goes charging forward. Shakeen Dar pulls Siobhan Stewart down. Second bookable offence for the match, and he is out for an early shower. Here comes Benbow now for his first goal of the season. Just sliding it left-footed past Damien Hart after receiving a pass from Siobhan Stewart. Yeah, 2 St. George's College men there, making it look easy. And there was still 1 more shot for Waterhouse to find. Look how happy Benbow is. Williams, Stewart will look to the middle and see Devroy Gray on the far post. Places the ball to him, and Devroy Gray finishes really well. Couldn't miss from there, really. I guess, unless you're Timo Werner. 4-1 the final scoreline. Siobhan Stewart with a pair of assists, and Waterhouse complete a fluent 4-1 victory over 10-man Dunbeholden.
We were slow in a lot of departments, a lot of ways, and we gave up 2 really silly goals, especially the second one, and we paid for it.
Yeah, and we thought that your captain, let himself a team down, because the first yellow card he got for the chest barge, you wouldn't expect a player of his quality and his experience to get booked for that.
Really stupid. The game wasn't being played at the time, and he took a stupid yellow. So when the time came where he needed to take a yellow for the team, he did it, and that led to the red card. So the first one was really stupid. That also cost us.
We have to be grateful. It's 4-1 on the board. We did take our chances, so we're grateful.
Yeah, a final question. I said to Lance on commentary, the beautiful thing from the Waterhouse perspective is that the fourth goal was scored by all four of the substitutes combining. That makes coaches look like geniuses.
I will tell you. It was indeed. And we like when strikers score goals. It builds confidence. But for the moral of the team, it's very important. Leslie, wonderful. So we encourage them to do that. So hopefully we can continue this.
Cavalier with the kickoff, but it's Portmore pressing forward with the early opportunities here. St. Hilton with a striking effort on goal, but Bartlett in goal for the opponents. Doing well there. Dwayne Atkinson's very, very prominent throughout the entire game today. Here he's again, Atkinson gets that to his feet well, and Marlando Maxwell hits high from 17 yards. Here's the winning goal coming from DeMar Rose. A beautiful long-range pass delivered to him by Alvinus Myers, the St. Lucian. And Rose, first touch, sliding the ball past Leng, and then putting himself in the position to beat Bartlett for the ball, sliding it in left-footed. And look at the celebration for Portmore. He wouldn't have known it then, but this was in fact the winning moment for them. Brilliant moment for Williams in goal for the Portmore team, denying Atkinson on that occasion. The ball hitting onto the crossbar there. So Portmore had their moments. Here comes Thomas with a late effort on the far post. Shanil Thomas, who scored in stoppage time to beat Arnett Gardens in their opening game.
As you can see, we've been getting chances upon chances, just failing to score them. We just get back and see what we're doing wrong, even in training session.
Yeah, man, that's what we want. And I must big up the two youngsters that were brought in the team, Janil and Markland. I think they brought some energy into the team. And that's the way we are going. That's the route we are taking, you know.
Back with us at the UWI JPL, Captain Horace Burrell, Centre of Excellence. Second half action in this match week 3 Jamaica Premier League clash between Vere United in the yellow shorts and the white jerseys and Mount Pleasant. We're in blue this afternoon. Referee Daniel Parchment has dished out 2 yellow cards so far, both to Mount Pleasant men, Alwyn Harvey and Liston James. Harvey after about 20 seconds for a tackle on poor old Javier Brown, and Liston James for a Kung Fu style challenge. Tyrese Harrison, the youngster who banged his hip hard in a challenge with Ladale Ritchie, is taken out by Donovan Ducky, and number 7 Lamar Neal, who left the field injured in the previous game, is introduced to start the second half. So Neal, number 7, will come in, but he's not on the field yet. There are only 10 Vere men on the field. The substitution, the number has gone up, but there's no sign of Lamar Neal, and he seems to be holding up the play. Daniel Parchment is asking, where is your substitute? Where is your guy? Neal is only now removing his bib. What? This is sharp.
Well. He got the news late, clearly. Yeah. Would he still have on his bib? Anyway, I think this will make a big difference to the Vere team, especially if he is fit enough to be introduced. I think they will have a much sturdier middle with him on. Harrison just didn't have the best of games, didn't really come into the play.
Daniel Green, early touch for him. Oh, he gets around Lumpton. The ball played to Cleon Price. His effort missed, and the shot on goal by Tyrese Gow is blocked. Javier Brown goes long and asking a question of Francois Swaby that the veteran is no longer capable of answering. So Mount Pleasant picking up where they left off. They were the dominant team. They finished the first half as the dominant team, and right back on the front foot to start this second half. Kevin Graham can't get it, and he was holding on to Gowie, and he may be booked by Daniel Parchment for a blatant grab on the shorts. Escapes the booking for now.
Yeah, I think he'll get lucky. It wasn't a prolonged pull. Gale is down, but again giving away the ball needlessly. This time Graham was a guilty player.
Yeah, trying to sell a dummy and allowed the ball to run too far away from him.
Mount Pleasant certainly finished the first half the better team. I thought they were a little bit more patient in their attack, and it was looking a lot more potent. They were getting more players forward. They were penetrating the box of Vere United. And now they have a free kick in a dangerous position, so they've continued where they left off.
Well, that's the one thing we haven't seen so far this season, a free kick goal. Maybe Sule McCullough or even Alwyn Harvey, who was taking an... Well, Hardware did score a free kick for Dunby holding off the bench to win, to settle their opening game, so we've seen one so far. One is a bit lonely. Let's see if another team playing in blue can give us a second one. McCullough. And he hits the cameraman right on the chest, and the cameraman takes a look around to see who is it that hit him with that. The cameraman is flexing his shoulder, flexing the left shoulder. And a note to our studio director, Michael Edwards, your cameraman is injured, Eddie.
Should have controlled it, George.
Yeah, you saw the shift just now. No, he couldn't. It nearly broke his clavicle. That's Scorpion, and he's not seeing well these days, viewers. So I'm not sure he saw that at all. Anyway, back to live action. Liston James, Kevin Graham, authoritative with the header, and now Alton Lewis. Daniel Ritchie has some time. Early pass out to Sigree. McCullough.
That's too much.
Yeah. Daniel Green wanted it early. He wanted it from Sigree. So rather than passing it to McCullough inside, Green was saying, you should have passed it to me outside. Salmon with the throw to Neal. His first touch of the game, having just been introduced. Richie goes back to Lane. Liston James gives him the passing option, and he uses him. Back to Lane. Sigree skips away from Neal's challenge. to McCullough. Under pressure from Gale.
It's unlike Harrison, who likes to play in the wide areas, likes to play with just... After this.
Daniel Green. On the right foot. Looks for pass. Finds Sigree. Sigree is trying to get Campbell in, and Lewis, nobody told him that he wasn't under a challenge, so he acted as if he was being closed down and gave away a corner that he really ought not to have.
Yeah, lack of communication.
Short corner, Devontae Campbell now to Gowie. Gowie across to Daniel Green on the thigh, but the control wasn't clean. Sharp turn by him, handball! Daniel Parchment says no, the hand was by the side. Harvey to James. Campbell forward to Gowie, and it's too long. Gowie was saying that it was misdirected.
I didn't think it was that hard. I thought Gowie would have gotten to it. Lovely turn by Green. Green is the leading goal scorer for Mount Pleasant so far this season. 2 goals. And I guess he's saying Lumphen. The hand was, as I said, close to the body. And he was in close proximity as well.
The man with the longest arm on the pitch, it's going to be difficult for him to get all of it out of the way. Campbell fights off 2 challenges, but he's forced to go back. Good use of the football by the young man to his captain, Richie, who goes wide to Sigree.
Yeah. Campbell has played well.
Yep, Daniel Green now. McCullough.
Again, a patient build-up. I like it from Mount Pleasant.
Liston James now. Puts it in. Ricardo Campbell meets it. Campbell touches it away from Lewis, and Liston James shaped it to cross. Crosses with the left foot, and Sully McCullough got a piece of it with the head. But it's a goal kick in the end.
Good delivery. Again though, not much joy aerially for Mount Pleasant. I actually think they look a lot better when they keep it on the carpet. Vere United would be more the team that you'd look to float balls into the box, but Vere Mount Pleasant have looked a lot better with the transition play, especially when the short passes and moving the ball around, changing flanks. Here's another example. Look at that, finding space within the middle of the park, because they do have the quicker players, and certainly the players with the quicker feet.
Yep. Graham in hard in tackling Devontae Campbell just now, and the youngster feeling the force of the strongman's challenge. And needs some attention there. They're saying no need for the medic to come. When they're young, they're resilient, so Campbell should be fine. This is what happened. Kevin Graham putting in a foot there, and yeah. But Devontae Campbell, the first of the homegrown products of the Mount Pleasant Academy project. He's going to be the first of many, because Mount Pleasant, the owner, said he's in it for the long haul, and everything he's done so far suggests he's in it for the long haul. And that's why us neutrals wish the project every success. This is Ladale Ritchie. Pumps it into the 18-yard box. Kadeem Davis, loud call, and he claims it easily. Goes long, and again it's wasted because it's straight back to Mount Pleasant. Swaby nowhere, not in the same parish as the pass. Liston James has a lot of time. Finds Gowie to Campbell. Back to James. Switches it to his skipper, Richie. Green. Green works around 2 challenges, Green. Running at Anjay Gale, comes inside to McCullough. Back out, this is Sigree. Can he cross it? Oh, he tricks his man Sigree with a cross now, and it's headed away by Lumphen. 6 foot plenty. Lamar Neal under pressure from Harvey, can't turn. He tries to find Swaby. Swaby battling against Lane, still Swaby. Good job by the big man. Still in possession, Swaby. To Gale in midfield. Forward to Graham. Across to Lewis. Vere, a rear coordinated attack from them. Lewis over the top, trying to find Swaby, and it's cleared by Ladine Ritchie with the big striker lurking behind him. Campbell buys himself some time, so Harvey back into midfield, and now McCullough and Harvey. The switch. Harvey was looking for Green, but the pass needed more, and Neil now in possession for Vere.
Not even sure why you would attempt that, and he had so many players waiting to support him on his side of the pitch.
Kevin Graham with some time in midfield. Asks a lot of Lewis. Lewis does well to keep it in. This is Messam. Inside to Swaby. Back to Lewis. Lewis over the top to Neil. Can he get it? Yes, Neil gets it. Back to Swaby! Off the left foot. He's been known to score those. Has scored plenty of those in his career. But it was high in the end.
His stride pattern was off, George. When he attacked that ball, he was overstriding, and hence had to stretch to take the shot. But this is why I like the insertion of Lamar Neal. What he brings to that team, willing to play in the central positions. Yeah, and then you see the stretch from Swaby. Just didn't get it right any at all. Needed another little step before he went to kick.
Yeah, next time, Chris, don't be so timid. You were saying overstrode, and then you edited yourself. It's a legitimate word, my friend, and you know this. So you would have been fine. But yeah, you are correct. Just need a little stutter step in between that to balance himself properly to execute the shot. And yeah, but that was a good build-up from Vere as their manager, a former member, an ex-member of the Jamaica Defence Force, a former soldier. Donovan Ducky demanding more. Cleon Price eased off it by Lumpton, and now Lewis. Oh, Lewis! If that was an unforced error, if there was ever an unforced error, that was it. But he wins it back, Lewis, and then loses it to Campbell. Liston James from Mount Pleasant. Cleon Price out to Campbell. Donovan Ducky asking his midfield, "Where are you?" Sule McCullough now. Green. Wider to Daniel Green. Green inside. Campbell has time to take it down. Liston James. And both of them working on it. And Liston James puts it in. And the header was met by Gowie. And into the arms of Kadeem Davis, who goes down saying he took a knock to the midriff.
Yeah, Lewis doing very well at winning the ball. But then very bad at distributing it, and that's his problem.
And the problem was, Chris, the pass that he should have made was not a difficult one. And it was the yards in front of him.
Yeah. And Ricardo Campbell is actually saying that we see Davis down at the moment, and this was a ball put in which I don't think it needed so much pace, and this is where they're getting it wrong. Two players free in the box. You don't need so much pace. Just find them. Look at that. It was too deep.
Well, I'm trying to see what happened to Kadeem Davis. He was bumped by Sule McCullough, and the medic has come on. So Kadeem Davis down for the count for the minute. Vere's last 10 results.
There's a smile on the face of Parchment.
Yeah, Vere's last 10 results, Chris. They beat Malines 1-0, lost 2-1 to Dunbeholden, drew 0-0 with Dunbeholden, beaten 4-0 by Tivoli, 0-0 with Tivoli before that, losing 1-0 to Cavalier, 0-0 with Mount Pleasant, beaten 1-0 by Tivoli, 0-0 with Huey, and beating 100 Gardens 1-0. So it's an amazing sequence of games, as we noted. In 10 games, only 3 goals scored.
Lots of nils.
And in those 10 games, 8 goals conceded. But one of those games saw them concede 4. So really and truly, 4 goals conceded in 9 games.
Yeah. Very good defensive record, apart from, as you said, that 4-0 massacre. But yeah, this has been the story. Last season, as you said, this fixture finished 0-0. And it's been the best result for Vere. The previous 2 were wins for Mount Pleasant, 2-0 and 2-1.
I tell you what, if they ever get in front, Vere United, that's it. Because their defense is watertight.
Well, we saw that, what was it, 7 days ago?
Yes, sir.
Defend very narrow, lots of players behind it. I actually think Mount Pleasant, especially, let us say, around the 35th minute, have done very well in terms of sharing the ball, improving their midfield play, and they have found a few holes in Vere United, but they haven't made it count.
Lumpen, may have been a handball called by referee Parchment. Whatever it is, whatever it was, it's a free kick that McCullough eases Javier Brown off, and the ball is in play. This is Daniel Green. Comes with the cross. Lumpen met it, and Campbell at the back post, a swing and a miss. It's a corner kick.
Campbell and Green are the two players, certainly from wide positions, who have really, as I said, come alive. Campbell, the 19-year-old, he's done very well. Nifty footwork, very quick. He's giving Lewis a hard time. And Green has looked a lot better in the second half. Their leading goal scorer.
Straight with a defensive header going back into the mix. It meets the head of Kevin Graham this time, and running straight through is Ricardo Messam, but a bad touch allows Sigree to win back possession from Mount Pleasant. Daniel Green, can he get on to the end of this? Oh, lovely play by Daniel Green. Cleon Price shows him where he wants it, but Lumpen, a leg stretched out like Dalzim from these Street Fighter games.
With the extension.
Oh yes. Campbell on the floor with a cross. Green misses it. Cleon Price trying to back heel, but can't get it through heavy traffic. It's still alive for Mount Pleasant through Sule McCullough. Plays Devonta Campbell in. Gets around Lewis Campbell. And Kevin Graham cleans up at near his first post. And here's Swaby. Vere on the counter attack, or are they? Swaby's pass behind Messam. Messam keeps it in.
Won't be a counter with Francois Swaby.
Yeah, Lamar Neal.
But he did very well, the big man. And Swaby has been frustrated because they have looked to play the ball in space for Swaby, but Swaby wants the ball. He does very well when the ball is played to him.
Yeah, he wants it to feed all the time. From him. Yes, he wants it to feed all the time. That's for sure.
And he holds up the ball very well.
Gowie's flick, only to Kevin Graham. And it's a turnover. This is Gowie. Pops up on the left. Inside to Sule McCullough. Takes a touch. Sule McCullough switches feet, but can't get the shot off cleanly. And it's into space for Messam to chase. Kevin Lane comes and challenges and loses out. This is Messam. Still Messam for Vere. Swaby wants it. Gets it now. The overlap is there. This is Javier Brown. Brown! To the side netting. It's a goal kick.
No way, Javier Brown. When Swaby played the diagonal pass to Brown, he made the run towards the penalty spot, expecting the diagonal pass from Brown. And that was so poor from him. Had he made that pass, Swaby was there waiting. Very intelligent.
Here's Swaby. Daniel Green racing into the box. Green! It's blocked by Kadeem Davis and helped by Lumpen. He gathers at the second attempt. So from back to front very quickly for Mount Pleasant. And Daniel Green racing into the box from the left-hand side. Meanwhile, Kesslon Hall gets ready to come in for Mount Pleasant. Meanwhile, Swaby battling against Richie and goes down the big striker for Vere.
Yeah, Price picked up an injury and an opportunity, as I said, for Hall. This was a previous chance for Green. As we said, Green and Campbell in the wide areas causing lots of problems for Vere. And this was a chance they created for themselves. Ricardo Messam cutting in well, was actually fouled. Good advantage played by Parchment. And look at this, lovely pass here, and then you can see Swaby front of screen, but Brown not sure what he was thinking.
Messam back to Lewis under pressure, forward to Graham. Graham back to Lewis. Lewis. Oh, was that a shot? Was that a pass?
That was a shot.
Only he knows.
Not the best idea, and he gets a mouthful, or an earful, I should say, from Ricardo Campbell, the captain.
So the original Mount Pleasant striker, Kesslon Hall, was there when they were battling their way through the St. Anne leagues to get to the Premier League. Wasn't a part of the squad in the first two games. Part of the squad today, and he gets a piece of the action. Usually good for a goal, Kesslon Hall. Let's see if he can do the magic, do the business for Wally Downs' team today. Lewis chests down, forward to Javier Brown. Can't connect with Neal. Oh, lovely turn, lovely take by Campbell. The control took him away from Lewis. But Lewis had help, so Campbell had to turn back. Ball switched to Segri. Far side on the left. Inside to Harvey. And Anjay Gale gets there first.
Really nice player, Campbell. Good foot skill and very quick feet. He's given everybody problems on that flank.
Speaking of problems, yeah, Daniel Green has given the Vere boys problems as well. Here he is again. Green! And Lumpton got over there and made himself enough of an obstacle. Swaby frustrated again. That pass doesn't find him. And he's really having a tough time. The big striker for Vere United. Here's Messam. Messam can't find him because Liston James steps in. Gowie, back to Liston James. Centrally to Sule Makala. Makala. Short pass to Green. Green! A snap effort. Very quick to sort himself out and direct that shot at target. And just missed to the top left-hand corner. Well, didn't just miss it, but missed the top left-hand corner.
He made up his mind pretty quickly. Didn't position his body the right way initially. So there was a bit of a delay and then he was rushed. Green, but there have been 3 occasions, Mount Pleasant, where they have gotten into the box and the hesitation to shoot has caused the avenues to just be shut down. Price got one before he came off. He should have kicked one time, didn't. McCullough got another one where he should have kicked, didn't. And again you see the slight misjudgment from Green. So that is something that Mount Pleasant, obviously Vere United, how they defend, you're not going to get a lot of time. So when you do find that little pocket, you have to know what you're going to do before the ball comes to you.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. In the 66th minute, Vere have 3 men warming up. Mount Pleasant have none, but they've made some changes. Ricardo Campbell replaced in the first half by Tyrese Gowie. And now Cleon Price are replaced by Keston Hall as Green races forward once again. Daniel Green jet heeled and into the box. Green with the left-footed shot. It's blocked by the covering defenders. Good by Anjay Gale who matched him in that sprint. Daniel Green, a slow start to the first half, but has picked up and has been bright in the second period for the boys in blue, Mount Pleasant.
I think they need to make some changes, especially to the middle of the park. Vere United, they're looking very leggy, especially Harvey, struggling, I think, and that's why there's no fight. So their defense line is very exposed. They're easy way through. Even 5 minutes ago, that transition play with Green, look how quickly the ball got down to their defensive third, and it's because there's not enough midfield work going on for Vere United. Harvey, Gale and company need to close the lanes a lot better, protect the back line. So I wouldn't be surprised if those 3 substitutes, if 2 are involved in those positions.
Yeah, Gowie under pressure from Campbell. Green works around Campbell. Still Green tiptoeing into the box. Daniel Green and robbed by Ricardo Campbell and goes down. Danon Parchment says goal kick. Campbell stretching the groin, seems to have hurt himself in that tangle with Daniel Green. And Danon Parchment asking the Vere skipper if it's all right. So Green, this is him working in the box, but Campbell
stronger.
Yeah.
Was that Campbell who actually towed out the ball though? Yeah. Well, let's see it here. Oh no, it was Green through the legs of Campbell. Good defending by the captain. He has been good, but Lumpton has been excellent today. Has
smothered a few shots so far in the second half.
Very good. Very good day. Vere number 3. He was very good in the last game, but I think he was pipped by his captain just because of the leadership that Campbell showed. But maybe today the number 3 might have the slight edge on their team.
Won that. Neil into the box. This is Javier Brown! He required a save from Shavin Paul, and it's according to Vere United, almost out of nothing. The Clarendon team could have breached the Mount Pleasant rear guard.
And who is the man involved yet again? Lamar Neal. Brought in very well. And Brown, who certainly was looking leggy, that's an excellent save. Lovely pass by Neil. He's added something to this team, and that was a top save by Shavin Sean Paul.
So Neil, the provider for that chance, has come across near side to take this corner for Vere. 5 of them in the box, men in white shirts, hovering like carrion waiting for meat. Neil puts it to the back post. Swaby gets up there, but Sule Makala was on point to beat him to the header, and Javier Brown trying to shield that into touch and was flung into the advertising hoardings by the young Tyrese Gowed. He's having words. Well, just had a few words with the young man. It's a corner kick, nothing more.
Very good delivery by Neil. That's the idea. Look at how that was floated. It allowed Swaby to attack it. He didn't win the header in the end, but still gave him an opportunity to use his strength, his body.
Neil has found himself on the other side, the far side, for this corner kick now. Goes up and McCullough wins the header once again. Javere Brown back to where the ball came from. Neil settles under it. Lovely first touch to bring it down. Still Neil, and he goes down in the box. The Indian Parchment turns away. Doesn't want any part of that. Daniel Green over to Kesslon Hall. Will he get his first touch? Yes, he does. Poor pass by Hall. Cleared easily by Ricardo Campbell. Javere Brown goes down in the center circle. Meanwhile, Neil is still down on the 18-yard line for Mount Pleasant, and the medics have been summoned by Parchment. I'd love to see that again, and I'm sure I will. Did Neil go down trying to buy a free kick, or was he fouled?
What a bad thing this would be if he's re-injured himself, Neil. He's made a big difference since he's come on. There was a touch. I'm not sure how serious it was, because I'd wonder why he would go down at that point, especially considering that he had a little space, so he was in an attacking position.
So
here
it is.
Again. Cuts in well. Oh, there was a stamp on the toe.
Yes, Segri stepped on his foot. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt. Maybe Parchment thought that it was rather soft.
You know what? I'll tell you this. It
could be painful.
Of the calls that are missed by the referees, it's always one where the tackler steps on the foot. So because both feet are in the turf, it's difficult for the referees to perceive that there was the infringement.
And again, it also looked as if it was the edge of his foot, which is probably why it was so painful initially. The edge of the foot, you know, that little toe.
Yeah, he's back up and running, so he's good.
Yeah. I can understand why Parchment would have said, nah, I'm giving you a penalty for that. But point taken certainly about it being deep in the turf.
Yeah. Campbell driving at Lewis, can't get by this time though. The Vere man closing the door. And Campbell. Neil once again now. Away from one challenge. This is Messam. Messam being told to hurry up. He dances around Sule McCullough, finds Swaby this near side. Oh, Swaby, who usually complains about poor passes, execute a poor pass himself. Harvey, robbed by Anjay Gale. Well, Javere Brown and was battling away his Harvey. Runs into Kevin Graham and flings Graham to the ground. Will Graham go into the book as we see the yellow card out? It goes to Javere Brown, the yellow card.
Wow. I didn't like the response from Harvey, who is on the ground. I actually think Harvey was quite guilty, and when he realized that he could have gotten in trouble, then he play acted and fell over.
Yeah.
Just look at how Harvey leaves the ball. Look here. Well, yeah, that was a bad arm there.
Well, he did get the step though. He did get a stamp from Brown, Kevin Graham lucky because the forearm that he put up to protect himself as Harvey was crashing into him could have been deemed to have been an aggressive act.
I would probably have blown for that actually, because the arm did go into the neck chin region, and that could have been dangerous.
There's blood on Harvey's knee as well.
So maybe it was a bit unfair to Harvey there. It actually didn't. On the replay, it actually doesn't look like he left the ball to then challenge the Vere United players.
Yeah, that right leg is banged up for Harvey. Step in the ankle, stamp in the ankle, and some blood on the knee, just below the knee on the right leg as well.
Yeah, he's feeling it, Harvey.
And you see them looking for something to stop the bleeding. Maybe we'll have to bandage him up. Even the physio has an injury. There's a thumb that is wrapped up there, the physio. Wonder how he cut his thumb. This is the tackle once again.
Oh,
yeah, that hurts. Has to hurt.
And it went right down the shin as well. So as you can see, working its way down the shin into the instep. Nasty. Yeah, deserved yellow card. Probably Graham was lucky to get away with without one himself, as usual. He's very skillful at those sneaky challenges, Graham. He's an aggressive player. The number 18. Here we have a look at the attacking zones for Mount Pleasant. No surprise, 30% in the wide areas, flank areas of Green. And Campbell has had some joy as well. Less on Campbell's wing, but they have switched wings as well. But certainly they have looked to exploit in the wide areas. And they have done a lot better in the second half, but haven't produced a goal.
Yeah, well, to the point, after you say this about Vere, I'll tell you.
Vere as well. Well, since Lamar Neal has come on, he certainly has added something within midfield and looking to go wide as well. 20%, a little bit more even between the middle and the wide right area, and that's because of Swaby, who plays through the central positions.
Yeah, you spoke about the switching on the flanks. Green and Campbell haven't switched flanks in the second half. They were interchanging regularly in the first half, but they've held their positions, and maybe that's why Green has enjoyed a lot of joy down the left-hand side.
Well, and Campbell on the right as well. So I actually think the reason they haven't switched is because it's been working. So they say, well, let's stay with it. It's just been that final element that's been missing.
And Lumven's long legs in the way of their shots in the 18-yard box.
But again, I think when they get the opportunity to shoot too many touches, an extra touch, some of those balls into the box, they should have tried probably one-time shots. They would have been better off. But just that touch allows the defense just to close the space and organize a bit.
So we have the restart. Segre gets the pass from Richie. Harvey, after some running repairs, he's back up once again. Liston James now tries to find Kessler on hold, but Salmon stood under it. A case of anywhere will do from Javier Brown with that clearance. Finds Richie all the way back to his goalkeeper Paul. Lane forward. Campbell wins and will settle for the throw. Well, we'll settle to a defending from the throw.
Campbell slightly limping as well.
Yeah.
They pick up that injury in the challenge with Green.
Yeah.
Remember?
Campbell in space. Devontae makes the cross. Can't beat Anjay Gale. This is Gowie. Gowie with the shot. Really spanked that. High in the end.
Decent strike by Gowie. Decent strike. His first touch was good, so it set up nicely for the shot. Here's the control. McCullough's first touch wasn't good. Yeah, Gowie, not bad. Always going over, good pace behind it. Had that been a little lower, Paul would have been in trouble. I mean, Davis would have been in trouble.
Man down on this near side looks to be Devontae Campbell for Mount Pleasant. Yes, it is. And the medics trot on. So, another disruption to the game. There's a man on the Mount Pleasant bench getting his shin pads into the socks. The clearest indicator that the player is about to enter the fray.
As the years have gone by, the wearing of shin pads, as we saw the tackle on Harvey, it came to me that it's a lot more about the fashion and just the fact that you have to wear them, because most of the players don't like the shin pads, and if you notice, year by year they get smaller and smaller.
For sure.
So there's no real protection for the shin.
Back in my time, the shin pads were like cricket pads.
Yes, they were quite big.
Sajay Gale, the man who scored the winner in the last game for Mount Pleasant, off the bench, getting ready to reprise his role of match winner. Looks as if he's going to replace poor old Devontae Campbell.
Unfortunate for Campbell, was having a really good game. There he is. Played very well in the flank years. Just 19 years of age.
His number is up though. And Sajay Anderson runs on. Match winner last time out. Can he do the business once again? So let's see how Alton Lewis battles the threat of the muscular Sajay Anderson. Not the same skill as Campbell, as Devontae Campbell, but certainly a heavier, tougher guy. This is Javier Brown. Brown with the shot that goes directly towards gathered easily by Chavenport. Looked venomous in the striking motion, but not much power behind it in real terms. Green down the line for Kesslon Hall. Kesslon Hall, can he keep it in? Lumpton watched him run it into touch. This is Neil. His pass into the path of Javier Brown and wound it up as if he was going to really blast it. It didn't get much on it. And then Kesslon Hall, couldn't keep it in. Kesslon Hall is through. Hall takes a touch. Still Hall! Off the bench, and Kesslon Hall, his first appearance this season, and the Foundation Mount Pleasant man who's seen several big names come to the club. He's retained his place on the roster. He shows why the Mount Pleasant management still believe there is need for his talents at the St. Anne institution. He comes up trumps for the Englishman, Wally Downs. 1-0 Mount Pleasant.
Lovely pass by Tyrese Gowie just to set him free. And excellent composure, good strength as well by Kesslon Hall. Been around a while, first match of the season for the number 11. Good strength, not easy to maintain the ball ahead of Lumpton, and his first of the season. Deserved for Mount Pleasant. They have certainly played better in the attacking third, and they have attacked with more purpose, and that's the result. Finally a good touch inside the area, and they finished the match. Could easily have just kicked a wild shot after that initial touch, but decided to take another one and use his strength and ensured that Davis was out of position, and he finished wide of him.
There was a wild hack just now on Daniel Green on that sprint down the line. That's why Daniel Parchment, rather than give the throw that he won, is giving Daniel Green a free kick. Kesslon Hall, it's a situational awareness as well. Knew that he had the beating of Lumpton for pace, so knew that if he's on the ball and the centre half is behind him, no way that Lumpton would have caught him, so had the luxury of taking another touch. Only had to be clear of Lumpton's long legs. And once he was out of range for the defender to really stretch and intercept, he knew he was going to come up trumps. Well, no, he knew he was going to get a clear shot at goal. Harvey out to Daniel Green. Segree over the top, met by Kevin Graham. Vere have to gamble now. And they're gone to their bench. Number 12 is preparing to come in for Donovan Ducky's team. That looks to be Tavis Grant.
Was used as a substitute in the last game as well.
Yes,
actually played well.
The captain is down though. You spoke about the injury he picked up in a challenge with Daniel Green. It seems to be bothering him, Ricardo Campbell, and he has the look of a man whose afternoon is over.
No, that's a big deal for Vere United. Had big injury problems in the 2021 season, and it made Donovan Ducky very nervous. Didn't like when his captain wasn't there. The leadership that he brings to this unit, and that's a big deal for him that the injuries are back. And in fact, he what would happen in those games last year, as you remember, he would be out for a few games, and he would come back in for a game and then re-injure himself, and he was out again. So wow.
Meanwhile, Ducky in a conference with Anjay Gale and Kevin Graham as he tries to get something from this game.
Well, Graham will play the centre-back role, I figure now, and Grant will go to wing-back.
For sure. So it's a reorganization. So this is the goal. So Kadeem Davis boots it long. Harvey won it in midfield. Lovely flick by Gowie.
Yes, that was what I wanted to see. Lovely awareness by Gowie. And unusual, this time Mount Pleasant actually attacking through the spine, through the centre, instead of the wide areas with Green and obviously with Campbell before he came off. This time down the middle, Gowie coming on from Morris, making a big difference. Lovely pass.
I'm wondering if he got a shout from Kesslon Hall, which is why the flick was so swift, without hesitation, just getting the back heel into the path of the striker.
See by the movement of Hall.
So number 2, Ricardo Campbell, the skipper, has broken down in this game, and Tavis Grant on to help Donovan Ducky's team. This is Alton Lewis. Kevin Graham has retreated into that centre-back position. Grant has come to this left-hand side to help the attack down the left. Here he is. Lewis wins it inside to Neil. Neil. Ball headed away. Daniel Green now has some space in front of him. Neil before a burst by Neil as if he's not there, but touch just too heavy, allowed Anjay Gale to reach in and clear. Still Mount Pleasant's ball though. Segri now to Harvey, who Kesslon Hall offside.
He just got a little ahead of himself, Hall, but his movement has generally been good. He's given options, willing to run the lines, Kesslon Hall. And that's what contributes to the space that's being opened up within the middle of the park. When as a forward you're running the lines, it also takes the defenders out of position. So
yeah.
McCullough and company will benefit.
Lumphin short to Lewis. Over the top, trying to find Swaby with one of those hit and hope crosses. Kevin Graham, firm header. Messam settles under it now. Midfield to Brown. Brown switch to Neil. Can he keep this one in? Segri in hot pursuit of him. Meanwhile, so the referee will call the play back because Javier Brown was fouled in the process of making that pass to Neil.
No need for Hall to make that challenge, so he's given away an opportunity.
So Mount Pleasant have brought many new shiny pieces, many big name players to the project since their ascension to the Premier League, but Kesslon Hall has always been ever present. And his goal this afternoon has them in front. Salmon. Green wins it back. Well, has it now for Mount Pleasant. Back to McCullough. Exchange of passes. Green down the line asking Kesslon Hall to turn on the Jets, but Lumphin had the step on him. It's a goal kick for Vere.
Hall is willing to run the lines, but he wouldn't have had any help on that occasion. Just needed a little bit more patience from Green. That's what actually brought them into the game a lot more. Mount Pleasant, the patience in attack. Just taking the time to build their attacks.
Neil for Vere. Loses out though. Swaby can't get there. It's been a frustrating afternoon. Wally Downs goes through some keepy uppies and holds his back. There was a time, Wally, when you were rather good doing that sort of thing now. Those days have long gone. 61 this year, Wally Downs. A football career that would have ended decades ago. Kevin Lane to Segri. Pops it forward, headed away by Lumphin. Someone got there before McCullough, and Neil gets there before Harvey. Can't turn though. It's a throw to Vere. Don't discount this man's contribution. 24 years old, Alwyn Harvey, because when the goalkeeper Kadeem Davis cleared that ball for Vere, he was the one who won it in midfield, passed it swiftly to Gowie, whose first time flick found Kesslon Hall. Milo's foul. Tavis Grant wants it on this far side for Vere. Donovan Ducky bawling at his players. Really telling them they need to be patient still. Javier Brown wanted to take the quick free kick and Ducky said no. That's him directing traffic from the sidelines. Donovan Ducky, not used to losing, doesn't like losing. Not used to losing with Vere. Lumphin forward to Gale. Messam back to Lewis. Lewis over the top.
I'm surprised he asked Lewis to take the free kick. Lewis's deliveries into the box have been very poor. Just one good delivery in the entire game.
Sajay Anderson trying to find Gowie with the outside of the left foot, but runs all the way through to Davis. To Lumphin. Vere need to get a move on. Lumphin surveys the passes in front of him. Didn't like what he saw, so he went wide to Salmon.
Only looked one side of the field though.
Wow.
Lumphin. Grant was free.
Daniel Green held on to it under pressure from Lamar Neal, and he wins the free kick that the Mount Pleasant men are walking away from. They're allowing their captain to take his own sweet time to deal with this free kick. They have the lead, Mount Pleasant. Richie goes long, and it goes all the way into touch. Davis, it was his poor goal kick that led to the goal. Gets away with it. Salmon just skipped away from Keston Hall and pops this one forward. Swaby goes up, wins the header, but doesn't go in the direction he would have liked. Daniel Green with it now, wants to run, goes over on the challenge from Lamar Neal, who will go into the book of referee Daniel Parchment. So 4 yellow cards now, 2 apiece for the teams.
Yeah, no intention to play the ball. Neil just ensuring that Green didn't get any deeper into his defensive quarters. And rightful booking. The team has been better with Neil on the park though, certainly. Yeah, for Vere United. He is willing to play within the middle of the park, not like a wide player like Harrison. And he's been the man who's created a couple of opportunities for them against the run of play.
Makala out to Sigri. Sigri takes the touch. The cross comes into the grateful arms of Kadeem Davis. It's going to go long though, as usual, trying to find Swaby. And Swaby turns away in disgust and gives Kadeem Davis the evil eye from way up the field. And showing his goalkeeper the direction that he wanted the ball kicked in. Look at him.
Well, he's wondering if Davis knows what colour shirt he has on.
Wow.
Because Davis kicks, long kicks, have all found blue shirts.
Yep.
Every time. It's not even been close to Swaby.
Davis under pressure, being closed on by Hall. Hall wins possession to Goey! He's off the post! And Davis miraculously gets the chance to claim for Vere United. 4 minutes added on after all that, but how Mount Pleasant aren't 2-0 up, nobody knows. Not even he, Wally Downs, who's seen everything in football in a very, very long career, playing it and coaching it. This is Lumpfen's back pass. Look what Davis does. He flips it up. Keston Hall steals in, and a very good decision to play the youngster in who was under a challenge. Kevin Graham's pressure enough to cause Goey to rush the shot, and it cannoned back off the upright.
No excuse, Goey has to score that. Graham was late. Graham was late in any case. Oh, Goey didn't need so much precision. There was a whole goal there waiting for you. That should easily have been buried. There was no way Davis was going to get back to save it. But excellent work by Keslan Hall.
Makala switches it to Sigri. Forward to Daniel Green now. Sigri to Harvey. All the way back to his captain Richie, who's on the halfway line. Out to Sigri. Forward into space, and he's offside. Goey is.
Can Vere make them pay though? Can they salvage a point?
The young man really ought to have opened his JPL account there.
Yes.
Point blank range. And I know you say Graham was late, but I guarantee you, were Graham not closing him down, was Graham not appearing fast in his rear view mirror, he'd have had more composure and picked another spot in the gaping goal. And because Graham was arriving, he moved a twitch faster than he would have wanted to, and he could only find the crossbar. Here's Green, the speedy Daniel Green, who's done a lot of good work down this left hand side. Keston Hall playing it back to Green. Sajay Anderson requires a save from Davis, and Hall gathers, and Hall is offside.
Good strike by the substitute. Excellent in-step work with the left boot. Davis lucky to get away with the last one. This was a good save, low down.
Lewis allows it to bounce and finds Tavis Grant, who's attempted a flick, didn't come off, and Lane just tries to find the bush with that. Tavis Grant forward to Javier Brown, meets upon his opposite number Sule Makala, can't get around Makala, pulls him down, and it's a free kick, says the referee Daniel Parchment.
Mount Pleasant's chances have all come against the run of play, or Vere United I should say, their chances have come all against the run of play out of nothing. So they will be hoping that, well, it's only a minute to go, but like with that opportunity, that they could find something to make Mount Pleasant rue their mistakes.
In a game that seemed destined for 0-0, do we make Keston Hall the man of the match for coming on to settle it, to decide it? Or do we pick one of the defenders from Mount Pleasant? Chris Taylor, they pay you to make these decisions, man, so you have to make it. Nice turn by Goey, with the ball just a bit too straight, you believe. Brown, forward to Neil, good first touch by Neil, into space for Messam, and too much on it. Rich just scampers across.
Leg raisers.
Yeah,
George, Keston Hall has been the difference, the game changer.
Yes, sir.
In a game that lacked quality for such
in a game that needed changing.
Yeah, needed changing, exactly.
Neil, this is Neil. Lewis in space. Does he have a shot? Gets around James. Anton Lewis! Over the crossbar! Sinks to his knees. And that's the final act of the game. Daniel Parchment has seen enough. Vere United almost. But only in the love song does almost count. In football, almost never counts. 1-0, Mount Pleasant. So after 90 minutes here at the UWI JPL Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence, Keston Hall, the number 11 man, runs to the dressing room for a bit of comfort, and then he'll be back to do the interview, the post-match segment of this broadcast. He's our man of the match. His goal in the second half, the difference between the teams. Mount Pleasant continue on their winning ways, their third consecutive win. They're travelling strong. Match week 3 of the Jamaica Premier League.
Well, here are the full-time highlights. And after 90 minutes, Mount Pleasant with a 1-0 victory. Daniel Parchment starting off things. And Vere United with a ball into the box with quality. That was a rare occasion. And that was a shot from way out by Lewis. Easily held by Shavin Sean Paul. And a glancing header as well by Lumphen. This would have been another opportunity for them. This in the second half. Messam working in. A lovely pass here by Francois Swaby to find Brown. But this pass by Brown was dismal in terms of linking back up with Swaby. Was waiting at the top of the 18. And then the moment that would change it all. Lovely pass by Tyrese Gowie. And it was Harvey who actually broke up the play. Then that pass, one time back heel into the path of Keston Hall. And the long-time Mount Pleasant servant finishing into the far corner. 7 goals on the season for Mount Pleasant. Keston Hall's first. And it proved to be the winner. Then this moment, which nearly cost Vere United another goal. Sloppy by Davis. Keston Hall did excellent to set up Gowie on this occasion, so the reverse. But Gowie didn't have the composure to finish. And that was from 5 yards in. So 1-0 after 90. There we have a look at the statistics. Those 3 shots on target from 6 attempts for Vere United. They lacked potency up front. 5 on target from 14 for Mount Pleasant. 22 fouls, and Daniel Parchment was very busy, issuing 4 yellow cards, 2 to each. And as we see, 2 offsides, 3 corners for each of the teams, 2 saves for both keepers. And majority of the possession for Mount Pleasant with 57%. And they take all 3 points, and 3 from 3 for the start of the season. They defeat Vere United by a 1-0. Let's hear from our man of the match, goal scorer Keston Hall.
Congratulations, you got your chance, you took your chance. Well, tell me, what was going through your mind before you were introduced? What is it that you thought you could do on the field for Mount Pleasant today?
Well, you know, our abilities off the ball movement, and that played out.
And you thought you could add that to what was happening on the field?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Before we get to your goal, Keston, how has it been for you? We haven't seen you in the previous 2 match day squads. We were wondering where you were. You turn up today, you come on in the second half and you score. What happened? Why you weren't a part of the previous 2 match day squads?
Yeah, the absent, I always have a little hamstring, just a slight one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fully recover now.
Excellent. Did you give Gowie a shout because that back heel was precise, it was quick? Did you give him a shout that you were behind him, or he just knew you were there?
That was from the training ground. Yeah.
So you worked on that previously?
Yeah, training ground.
Yeah, Keston, many big names have come to Mount Pleasant over time, but you've still been there and you still keep producing the goods. Do you feel a particular kind of pride to be a foundation man, still in doing the business for this team?
Yeah, it's always a pleasure for the year. It's always a pleasure for the year and keep it doing the right thing. So it's automatical, basically. It's that. That's it.
All right, well, congratulations, my friend. We hope you score many more this season.
Thanks, sir.
Keston Hall there, the Mount Pleasant coach. Striker rather, wearing number 11. The reason I said coach is because the Vere United coach is setting himself up in the shot right now. He's here. Donovan, disappointing this afternoon, 1-0, and you lost your captain to injury. Not many things went right for you today, if anything at all.
Well, I beg to differ. A lot of things went well. I thought we were very competitive towards the 75th minute. You saw where the team started to separate in terms of physical fitness. Tactically, we were very good. I would say we had the best chance of the game. And it just never happened. It was a game of moments. We gave a possession to them. We want to play in transition. We understand the superiority of the depth that they had. They moved the ball well, but we were very good defensively. I thought was a defensive lapse in concentration. We lost the game, but there's a lot of positive to build on.
Well, we thought that perhaps when you review the film, you'll perhaps be upset at the way the goal was created, because your goalkeeper's goal kick didn't pass Alwyn Harvey, and his quick pass forward, that's where the goal came from.
And this is football. Things will happen. We'll make mistake. It's a technical breakdown. We'll have to pick up the pieces and continue to work. All right, a 1-0 defeat, but you go to build again. We'll talk again. Thank you very much. Good. Donovan Ducky there, the coach of Vere United, saying that there were things to be happy about, things to be satisfied about based on the quality of his team's performance for much of the contest. Wally Downs walks into these shots, saw him juggling a few and then holding his back over on the touchline. Wonder his mood right now. Wally, a 1-0 win. You went to your bench again and you found someone who could do the business, this time Keston Hall.
Yeah, he's very dangerous boy when he comes on late in the game. He makes great forward runs, and as long as we release the ball early enough for him, he's always a danger in that situation.
Yeah, 9 points from as many available.